great new bumper music here on the PM show nationwide, coast to coast, CRN Digital Talk Radio. Nice driving kind of, this is bumper music. I like this. Oh, this is our old bumper music? Oh, well, see? When the music is good, sometimes you can't tell whether it's new or old. So apparently we've discovered where the coffee is disappearing here. Welcome back here to the PM Show Weekend Edition. I'm your host, Michael Horn. Joining us a little bit later in the show, the great Fred Dreyer, Jimmy Mack, Eric Joseph from our newsroom. And we have found out that the two Jennifers back in the marketing department, apparently their deal was set up that they get dollars paid to them plus all the coffee they can drink. And apparently they're taking full advantage of that and taking quarts of this stuff out, where I understand the other Jen back there, Jennifer Kim, has a part-time job at a Starbucks, and she actually fills the thermos up here from our coffee machine and then serves it to some of the unsuspecting people at Starbucks. And I believe her family has some kind of pizza restaurant. And let me tell you about pizza restaurants. They serve pizza and they serve beer. And there is no such thing as coffee. And so I'm thinking she's got thermoses of coffee that she then takes back to this pizza restaurant where she makes it available. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us from her night job at the steel mill and also here where she does the various chores at CRN, ladies and gentlemen, it's the great Jennifer.
I just had to come in and defend ourselves back in the Gen Pen because in lieu of,
Wait, stop for a second. The Gen Pen?
Yes, we share a working space, so we call it the Gen Pen.
Feeding time in the Gen Pen,
That's
ladies
right.
and gentlemen.
Feeding time in the Gen Pen involves caffeine, and more caffeine. And in our defense...
Slow down. You're talking a little fast
very
now.
upset.
I know the end of your day. And
very
you've only had 8
upset. I'm
cups of
starting
coffee.
to shake a little bit.
Yes.
But, you know, we need the caffeine because we don't have benefits. We don't have 3-day weekends. Did you know this is a 3-day weekend?
This is?
Yeah, we don't know that because we don't get that.
Yeah, it's a 3 days. What is the holiday this weekend?
Martin Luther King Day.
Martin Luther King Day. Well, here's to Martin Luther King. Let's all raise a cup of coffee.
The Gen
beer,
Pen
whatever
works
you got.
for King Carl's oranges
He's the great
and
Martin
caffeine.
Luther King. He's
Yes.
great, and you should all take a moment. As you know, we always observe all holidays here at CRN Digital Talk Radio. So at some time on Monday, I want you to raise your glass or to be silent for a while and think about the great work that the great Martin Luther King did and observe the holiday.
I will raise my
let's
coffee.
all do that right now. If all of you like to do it at this particular time, let's just think. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That is good. And it's the great Martin Luther King Day. It's now been observed. Back to work.
See?
So that you are wired up. And what are you drinking, like Coca-Cola now on top of it? For
No, it's
something cold?
iced tea.
Oh, it's iced.
I already had my Diet Coke and a few cups of coffee.
Jennifer,
today.
you were at the Tasty Freeze Awards with Eric Joseph.
Yes, that's why I
and
came
I
in.
received a picture and saw the great Steve Andrews dressed to the nines.
Nines.
And also in a tux, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Beside, I
It had
believe
nines
Herman
all over
Cain
it.
was right behind him because there was 999 right across the front of his shirt. He
Yeah.
was dressed to the nines. And the lovely Sally Jesse James, and she was there as well.
Yes.
I just comes into my head, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. Someday this thing will shut
you're
down,
genius.
and then someone else will have to take over the show. The humor just continues to just roll forth here in the merriment. And then you got Scott Lucas is also there too, right?
Yes, Mr. Lucas was
Mr.
there.
Lucas, I've seen many of his movies.
It was very nice. It was a nice showing. Slow Living Radio was out. They were nominated for Best Food and Wine Radio Show.
Did they win? No one's been able to tell me.
No.
If they, and you guys were there, and you can't even tell me if they won or not.
It was a little disorganized, the award show. But we know that they didn't get a trophy.
They did not. Well,
No.
they deserved it because they're great. But I'll tell you one thing: that Tom Likas didn't win either, and we
No,
thought
he
he
did
would.
not.
And that other guy, that
The great Gene Burns did
Gene
not
Burns
win either.
didn't, and he did not win either. Who the heck won? Was it Barry Lynn, the cheese impresario
No,
show?
it was a nice lady from a radio station locally in Southern California called KCRW.
There's a problem here when you got an engineer that yawns while your show's on the air. That is very. At least you got to cover your mouth when you're doing that kind of stuff, Eric. You don't go like.
You know, I actually have a bone to pick with Engineer Eric.
Yes.
You know, he's, and maybe you might too, actually, come to think of it. Apparently, Engineer Eric has been friending people on Facebook in the office, coworkers and such.
Yes.
Guess who didn't get a friend request?
I have not gotten one either.
Oh, yeah, I did. I actually had to shame him into requesting me.
I don't want to be his friend now. I could care.
I added it, but it was under duress.
This guy was here once before, left in disgust, and came back again begging, ladies and gentlemen, literally, for his old job back.
He was here for the coffee.
And now, that's where the coffee's going. I'm telling you, don't show me that empty water container over there. You're taking it up. He works also part-time at a station up in Fresno, California, KYNO, one of the original, Bill Drake superstations, Boss Radio kind of things. And apparently, they've been trying to save a few bucks, and I believe they are pilfering out our coffee beans.
We are. We come in, I shovel them into my bag, and I sneak out the front door with them.
I told you. It's a very nice group of people up there, except for Eric, I've seen him up there. I went up there one time, unbeknownst with Paul Stern, and he was in their little room there, their beverage room, and I saw him pouring bean by bean into their coffee maker.
Labeled CRN coffee.
Yeah, and he was laughing like this.
So we buy only the very best beans, ladies and gentlemen, and we store them in the freezer, as everybody should do. People say don't do that. You should do that to keep them nice and fresh.
I don't feel a good buzz from our coffee, though. I feel like someone might be slipping decaf in there. I want a refund.
Courtney tells me to do that every time I go to get some coffee and I want to get some real high-energized coffee. The lovely Courtney is there, and she says, please, get the decaf so we can all stay relaxed. And Courtney would be in here to talk to us about it, but she fell asleep back in her office, ladies and gentlemen. No, we'll get some regular caffeinates. I've been getting, instead of the flavored coffee, which everybody hated, I've been having the Ray, who's in charge of all the ordering here at CRN. You guys are getting a real tour of the background of CRN. Ray is actually buying just traditional coffee beans, none of the, kind of the foo-foo cinnamon or hazelnut or vanilla bean or any of that kind of stuff. It's just straight coffee, right? The fuel-driven coffee that he's getting there. And it's been going like hotcakes. It is, I'm telling you, I could load that thing up again, but the weekend comes back when that Tammy Trujillo pet show comes on here. They have the dogs and cats even drinking the stuff. That's gone. That husband of Tammy Trujillo's, man, I've never seen a guy drink so much coffee in my life.
They're trying to get caffeinated, and it's a decaf blend.
I think we have him in the other studio. Hey! Apparently he's a little excited, ladies and gentlemen, over there. He drinks a lot of coffee. He drinks a lot of coffee, doesn't he, Eric? You engineer that program. You produce.
For a while, I was wondering why Slow Living Radio was the only show nominated for a Taste Award last night, and now I gotta know why.
Well, nobody really thought that Slow Living Radio would win, because none of our shows here on CRN have taste, ladies and gentlemen. Steve and Sally and Scott try as best they can, but Sally, Jesse James, because of her background with being a criminal and hiding from the law for so many years with that the Jesse James family, is probably the renegade in the group.
Probably.
But I think she's a well-known, accomplished person. Now, we have a lot to talk about today. You've got me all off on a tangent here talking about coffee and things. Heather Locklear, this was a big story, broke last night. We have it finally for you this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Our news department was out last night at an award show, so they've been able to file this story at least 3 days later. Also, Hulk Hogan, ladies and gentlemen, is undergoing the knife. And wait till I tell you about this. Just don't give away.
Paula Deen has diabetes.
Do you do this on the Doug Steffen show? Do you give away the things when we're doing the tease?
I give away his contests all the time. It irritates him.
Hulk Hogan undergoing the knife is a lot better than saying he's shaving off his mustache.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you were going to say it. Oh, boy, that's even maybe more serious. Oh, I'll turn that mic on for you.
He's shaving off his mustache?
That's right. Steve Austin is in the news, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, Stone Cold Steve Austin. We got some Subway rat stories and a whole lot more. Stay with us here on CRN. And a McDonald's story. Don't go away. Coffee, anybody?